Oh, but Koa holds it around the outside, and he gets a way better exit.
Pushing hard, already 3 wide into turn 1.
A little bit, and a group of Astons just piling up on him, trying to hold everybody off. Push him wide a little bit. Oh, but you can't make it stick.
Boonstra is able to hold the inside.
Got a little overlap, but he can't do it.
Ooh, and he just caught it.
Mr. Sir and King are banging doors.
Oh, shoot.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is round 2 here in Division 4. We are at Misano. Join me on the desk today, Bailey Kish and President D4 driver himself, John Donahue. Welcome to you both. First time having a driver from the same division casting today, and it looks like we're already kind of getting into qualifying. So I'm going to throw it to Bailey real quick to highlight some key overtaking spots.
Already throwing it to me? I didn't even get to
Yeah.
say hi.
Well,
My
say hi.
goodness.
Here you go.
Goodness.
Hey, I didn't get to say hi either.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Misano, here we are. Very tough track. I feel like overtaking is going to be extremely limited this week. The popular spots, I think that we'll see a lot of overtaking is going to be potentially down into turn 1. Not hopeful, but I think the first available overtaking section is going to be down into turn 4 in the Rio corner. Then it's kind of close quarters, and then turn 8, which is the end of the first long straight there in the back. We'll see some side-by-side action, and then probably nothing until turn 13, 14, as some cars are going to overpower others down that back long straight, and then maybe 16, the last corner onto the pit straight. So very, very few spots, but we'll see.
A very fun flowing track if you get used to it, and we are in the midst of silver qualifying. We do things a little differently here. If you are new here, we have silver and gold divisions qualifying with 20 minutes of qualifying. Silvers will go out first, golds will go out second for the second 10 minutes. If you're confused on who's silver and gold, take a look over on your left. Everyone with a silver nameplate is a silver driver. Everyone with a white nameplate is a gold driver. I don't think I missed anything there. Let's go. First time, first week, and we are on board with Schlitz, who is starting their first flying lap of the session. Pretty late into the session, might I add. It is a pretty packed track. You can see the mini map. People scattered everywhere, but Schlitz has all the room to do whatever.
Speaking of a packed track, we've got 40 people on track today.
But that's okay. Yeah, 40 people, and I think of those 40 currently, 5, 6, 9, 10. About 25 of them are on the track right now.
Jesus. Also, I see Zooch in the chat, and yes, I am live from jail at the moment.
Yeah, let's dig into that real quick. Why are you here?
Great. I made some stupid mistakes last season, as I'm sure you guys saw on a couple of the streams, and then in the beginning of the second lap of last race, I came together with someone, and apparently it was a penalty. So,
We'll
At
get
least you
them
got
next
to the
time.
second lap. I'm proud of you.
yeah, I actually made it there.
There's some people that didn't
Not
even
all
get
of
to the
us can say
first
that.
turn.
I damn near didn't make it out of the first turn. We were watching the race replay, and Martin Riggs almost rear-ended me in his big bootied Lexus because the person in front of me slammed their brakes, so I had to slam mine, and he was not ready for it. So it was almost very bad.
Events, but all we can do is move on from there. Moving on now, we're in Misano, and what's the kind of favored car here? Because been a lot of speculation that the Porsche is too throwy through the corners, but you can gain a lot of time off of it. Other people are preferring the AMR. What's up?
I'm seeing the Honda as a very popular quick car. It's got a little bit of the Aston Martin speed and a little bit of the Honda Porsche throw in there. So I think it's a good mix. We might see a couple of McLarens potentially. But that's just
Decent
my
mix.
guess.
You know what I find interesting, and I just was noticing this as I was scrolling down to see what cars we had in here. D4 doesn't have any BMWs this season at all.
Not currently on track.
I don't think there's any in this session here today.
I think we'll
I don't know.
see. We'll see when we throw over the standing later. 'Cause then we'll get a good look at everyone's car. But for now, our provisional pole leader, David Off, 34.7 off. Was up on his time, decided to invalidate, but we're also on board with Zitko, who put in their best lap right now. Gonna put in 35.1? 35.1. Put in P2. Go around again.
Pravin Fonseca, who moved over to the Audi this season instead of the 911, he is 3/10 up right now coming down the back straight. Or the second straight, I guess, not the back straight, into turn
Right.
8.
We're looking. It looks like a rocky entrance there, but is able to get cleaned up. Doesn't have a terrible accident. Is able to keep up on their time. 4/10 up is their time being right now, so that should launch them into the stratosphere. Top 5.
You know who's doing pretty good right now is my comic racing competition. The other comic racing team that Selena and I are up against is Matt Matassi. He's up almost a second on his time right now. He's down in 16th at the moment, but if he keeps it up, it'll move him
Going
probably
around
up a good 8 or 9 positions. Oh, as we had to deal with some traffic there.
What some people may not be able to see because our lovely Sim Racing Alliance logo is blocking it. The track is actually extremely cold right now. 14 degrees Celsius ambient, and the track's only 16 degrees Celsius. Bailey, how much does that kind of affect these tires and these?
It's different with this week as we had at Barcelona. Just because the track is significantly colder doesn't mean the tire wear is going to be much different. Especially with this track and how much you have to toss your car around in. And I find that's the quickest way on this track. Sliding the car around is going to eat your tires probably more than that, like the heat will. So we might see some quick times here at the beginning and qualifying at the beginning of the race. But I think towards the end of this race, we're still going to see a lot of people with some off tracks, some drive-throughs, maybe some spins, late braking. So in different ways, it's going to affect the tires and the driving styles of these guys.
Always love to. Yeah, 2 back-to-back races that have different tire implications. One very hot, one very cold right now. And David Off is very hot himself, trying to go back to provisional pole after Schlitz took it away with a 33.8. Didn't look to be too clean in that second last corner, but made up a good bit of time. Not going to be enough, though. It is just going to be a few hundredths off. But we'll be P2 with a 33 already. This is just our silver drivers. We still have the golds to go yet that are going to come out. Going off in their picture-in-picture. That's their qualifying done. Blitz is now on for one of their fastest times. Not up by a huge much, but any kind of help will do because David Off right there for that provisional pole, at least for the silver drive. This track is very famous for the amount of curb you can take in any car, really. Even the Porsche will eat all these curbs, and even if you don't,
Well,
it's pick and choose. But if you don't eat the curbs, you're losing mass amounts of time. I'm talking tenths. Me and Bailey went one time just going through like 3 to 4 tenths in one corner. Don't jump on the curb correctly.
oh yeah, it's kind of crazy how much time you can lose. I actually did a lap where I just didn't touch the curbs at all when I was practicing with Selena, so she could get some practice trying to overtake. And I was slower by almost a second when I wasn't cutting and just using the curbs. Kind of ridiculous.
It's going to be a lot of track cutting. Don't want to go wide like Rodriguez there. That will spell the end of their qualifying. They're going to pull off, and the golds have been released from the pen. We are just finishing a few laps in Silvers right now. Really, the only driver currently up is Davis, up 3/10. We'll cross the line, put it P3 with 34.6.
Pushes my teammate into P4.
Indeed. I'm looking at the insanely massive gap that we currently have from 1 to P or P2 to P3 right now. It is about 7/10.
Yeah. I have a feeling Schlitz and Davidoff might have a gold number or a white number plate in the next coming weeks.
Can't say too much. But what we can say is that the gold drivers are out and about warming up their tires right now forward, with Craig, the first one out of the driver box. Up their tires. We also didn't go through penalties.
Oh, great.
Grab those.
I think John does.
Yeah, I think John wants to go through penalties. So, I mean, we know you have a race ban this week, but do we have any other kind of penalties that we should be?
Let me check my notes really quick. Also, I just saw Austin in the chat. I miss you too, don't worry. Give me 1 second here.
Thank you.
We have Bobby Dock, who's going Dockendorf this season, who's going to have a pit lane start. So if you don't see him out on track, that's going to be why.
He is currently ESQ'd for qualifying. Audi, not an impossible task to come back from, especially from some turn 1 shenanigans. Practice really a toss of the coin, but generally should be clean. Or Craig is saying, and Bailey's very famous for his track walk.
You're ever so kind.
Is there anyone you want to get in?
We'll just jump on board with Craig while we're on him.
Well,
Just let him do his warm up.
it takes a lap or two to warm up. There's to say. Your right front is absolutely inflated to like 27 points. Because you not rely on that time at all.
Really quick, Selena, if you're watching, you got to keep Austin behind you. Don't let White Scarver get past.
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to broadcast strategy right now?
Oh yeah, team strategy meeting, just impromptu right now.
You're our resident E4 driver. And we'll come to you a little bit later, but I just want to plant this seed on who is the biggest people we should be watching in D4, but that'll have to wait because Bailey's going to go on a hot lap with Craig.
Yes, Caleb Craig starting off the flying lap here. Hopefully his tires are up to temp. Going down into turn 1, brake here at the board, take a lot of curb. That's going to be a common theme around here. Can cut a little more there, but that's okay. Just maximize the exit into this corner here. Try and keep the car as steady as you can through there. The back end likes to get tossed. Find your braking spot here. Turn in nice and early. Don't get excited on the throttle here as it will drift you too wide for this corner. He does really well here. Maximize the curb there. Don't go too wide there, which he does really good. Go down into the first straight on this track. That corner exit is very crucial as you hit your braking mark here. Hit good apex here. A lot of curb as well. Good job there. Maximize the exit. Get the car as straight as possible. Aim your car for the next braking zone here. Brake at your point. Get the car turned in. Can take a little more curb. He's a little wide on the exit. Gonna have to find some time here. And then coming through on the longest straight of the track, they're gonna come down into turn 13, which is probably the most toughest corner on this track. We might see a lot of casualties there this week. Several people take different lines. He takes the safe line through here. Very safe, very good. It's still quick. Get your car turned in and then immediately on the throttle into turn 15. Get all the way out, swing it in, take as much curb as you can. It's a good amount of curb there. Get on the exit. Do not hit the grass because you could die here. As much curb as you can on the inside. It's a pretty good lap.
Not good enough to put him above Davidoff and Blitz's a 34.4. But lots of improvement there, like you said, and we still have 5 minutes left in this session. Now that that's done, I'm going back to Donahue. But give us the big who to watch in his
Well, who to watch? Honestly, I don't remember who won at Spain because that was now, it feels like 3 weeks ago. But of course, Schlitz, we know he's fast, and it shows as well since he is currently topping the leaderboard by almost 4/10. So he'll be to watch for the silver division. Let's see who I want to keep an eye on in the gold division. I would of course say Craig, and then also in the silver division, I'm switching again. I know Pat Cockcroft. He did pretty damn good last race. I know that for a fact. So it's going to be interesting. He's starting P21, but we'll see what he can do. And then to answer a question that was put into the chat a little while ago, our 2 resident Jag drivers, which, you know, they took the Jag off challenge a little too seriously, it seems. We've got DJ Watts and David Funk.
We are on board with Funk right now, who put the Jag P5.
Decent.
Not a easy feat by any means to say right now.
I tried driving that thing. It's I don't like it. Also, Austin, thank you for reminding me. Schlitz actually won the race last time, so let's keep an eye on him to take the overall win again. And then Dunham took the gold split, and he's currently P3. So
there's a lot of mix-up with the gold and silvers, but when we go to the standings, you'll see that obviously gold and silver plates is littered everywhere with silvers mixed in with golds. So it may have a big shake-up mid. Right now we're on board with Banks, who is up almost 7 cents on their time. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the technical issues that we were having, but we are just back just in time to get underway here for the start of the race. Blitz led by David Off by Dunham, Funk, and Craig is your top 5 right now. We are just about to round this final corner. In picture window will capture the back half, and surely probably the more chaotic part. We round final turn, everyone side by side. And for round 2 at Misano, we are green and we are off to turn 1. Down we go. Everyone gets a pretty good start here. We do look to have some peakers 4-3 wide. No one really going to do it here in the front half. Everyone's still side by side, relatively clean. Nothing really happening all around the back half. Really good job through turns 1 and 2. Schlitz looks to be making their way as David Davidoff and Dunham are side by side right behind him, trying to catch right back up. Still too wide. Little bump in the back to another car there. Wasn't able to get the name of that one. Schlitz is off to the races, all the way gone. Still side by side. We are going. Everyone now flat out in a straight line down to turn 8. Still side by side in the back. We have a dive down on the inside. Funk is able to hold the inside and will get that position just away from Craig. Bailey, what's happening over in your woods?
We actually only lost one car on turn 1, surprisingly.
I'll take it.
But turn 4 was a little different story. We had 2 spins, but luckily they were in the middle of the track and both lines parted like the Red Sea.
Not a terrible start, as everyone is now just kind of going in a straight line together. If you look in your picture-in-picture, we do have a 2 wide scenario here. A very tricky part of the track to go 2 wide through, to say the least.
Let's see what, and they stick it so
they
far.
are holding. Will eventually give up that position. But good job for lap 1.
Was DJ Watts. He was the Jag that got turned around in the middle of the corner, and then he's got hit by a couple, so he might be diving in here to the pits to get some damage fixed if it's really bad.
It is a 10-minute pit window, so we will not have that kind of cushion for a 40-minute pit window, as we're side by side again in turn 1 in your picture-in-picture. Still going, no contact is made. Good racing to everyone in that area. Kinda clean.
There was a little bumper action, but it wasn't nothing major.
Nothing major. Zitko's coming down on Davis. Doesn't look to be getting any room yet, so we'll just have to slide right back in line. Go ahead, Donnie.
Sorry, DJ Watts, I was right. He did pull into the pits. He took too much damage, so he's now going to be trying to fix that. And Bobby Dockendorf is out of the pits, finally going after his drive-through or his pit lane start. He's already been lapped by a couple people.
That will happen.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be sliding line, kind of settled down. This is probably one of the less chaotic starts that we've had to a race, and
we've got a big accident. Big accident.
Get that replay in your picture. Cars going side by side, trying to dive up the inside. Is able to stick the first move, but not able to get to the second move. Ends up cooking it as well.
Not so big, I guess.
No.
There's just a lot of yellow flags.
We
and
do have white scarver.
Covers off at the last corner too.
See if we can get whatever happened to him. Back a little far.
You know, I told Selena to keep White Scarver behind her, but I didn't realize that would, make him spin out.
You know, it happens
At all costs.
from time to time. At all costs. Going up here to the Scarver. Oh, it just clips the grass a little bit. Almost drifts it the corner.
So he isn't the Drift King, then, is what I'm hearing.
Not the Drift King. The Ferrari will not drift. Davidoff is closing the gap back to Dunham. Schlitz is just off to the races. 2.8 second gap already. Dunham.
Jeez.
Starting to settle ground. The mid pack definitely not settling down right now. One of the Lorenzos trying to make their move on Rodriguez here. And happening still, everyone playing follow the leader for the most part. 2 Ghost Riders, 15 and 16 right now. Might make it side by side. Nose poked out to the inside. Won't make that move. Will decide to pull out of it. Good on Sharon for doing that. We'll just stick in. Try to make that move up for third death. A lot of curb as well.
This is fast.
It is very fast. We have it is going. Surprisingly, not as much chaos, but might start seeing some chaos here as Santos look to peek their nose out behind Sharon. Not going to do it. Looking down on the inside. Will not do it either. We'll hold off again. It is kind of scaring. Sharon gave up a lot of time to the car in front for that. Now Santos is under pressure from White Scarver here. It's a Ferrari or McLaren engine, so surely White Scarver will have the power as long as this exit is good enough to catch up to Santos. White Scarver going to go down the outside, switches back to the inside. Very big dive, is able to get the move done, but he went too wide, which will allow Santos to get the position back, along with passing Sharon. Not going to be able to get that move done. There was a car spinning in the background on the outside. Santos goes. Sharon is holding that inside beautifully. Does have the racing line. Will not complete it all. So we still go side by side here, down probably into turn 13 if everything holds like this. No one wanting to back out right here. Sharon does have the inside line. Santos will back out. We'll try to switch back down here on the inside. Not going to make the move. Not laying off on the brakes, but we'll take enough curb to kind of make that. White Scarver now coming back on Santos. Santos now going to be able to overtake Sharon, and now White Scarver is going to try to overtake Sharon on the last corner around the outside. We'll be able to get that move done. Santos will have to suffer 2-place position loss.
While that was happening, Kevin 14, he got tapped. So someone tried to go up the inside and Becton, and I think it was Banks. No, not Banks. Robichaud.
Really, what has been happening since we've been so caught up in some action finally?
We have lost 2 people.
Really? With us?
Sorry, did you say my name?
Hi, Bailey.
Hello? Can you hear me? Sorry, my headset died. I haven't heard anything last 30 seconds.
Is that what that pop was?
Once the race run down.
I was watching a little bit of back of the pack action, just a lot of follow the train, follow the leader back there. Then I switched over to the battle for P2 between Davidoff and Dunham, but not much is happening. Dunham is keeping the gap between him and Davidoff, kind of
You should look
parking
at.
the car.
Sorry to interrupt, but you should look at Martin Riggs. He is all
goodness.
over Harvey.
There's 2 of them
Condola.
cutting me off this week.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
We do have a battle between Riggs, Candola, and Zach Sky. Ghost Rider, and then sorry, I'm forgetting that
Madhouse.
name. Madhouse. Oh, Riggs not gonna have the best of exits here. Is gonna open the door for Sky. If Sky wants to dive down the inside, now is the time to do so. But that Lexus engine is able to hold off that power, so we'll keep that position. Riggs now has to get down, get back on Candola. Is able to make up a decent amount of time there, but we will jump back over in that battle once things get a little bit more closer. The pack ahead is looking spicy. Barker around the outside of Rodriguez is not going to be able to get that move done. We'll slot in right behind him. This is now opening the door for Candola to join the fight, and these 2 battles are about to merge. Candola down on the inside. Barker is going to allow him to do that. Barker's going to try to hold the outside here in that Lexus versus the Porsche. Is able to do it just a little bit, but that Porsche is going to be able to get away, and will leave Barker wide open to Riggs now as Candola will try to get along.
Ooh!
Battle has now opened up to Thompson, the Cockcroft, Lorenzo, the Rodriguez, to Candola, the Barker, the Riggs, the Sky, the Greer, the Grover.
Big train.
You know, I
Anything.
don't think that Riggs and Barker will do too much fighting. They're
Team orders
teammates,
here.
so I don't think they want to take each other out. They may not be on the same little division team, if that makes sense,
Bomber.
but they're both Ghost Riders.
Yeah, all three of them are Ghost Riders here. Candola trying to keep close to Roderick's, and Barker really just trying to keep close to Candola. I won't be surprised to see if Riggs or Zach Sky kind of poke their nose out here and try for something, but nothing's going to come to it down in turn 1. As there is collision
No.
between the two Ghost Rider drivers. We'll get a replay on that one for you. Martin Riggs down. Turn 1 as not early enough on the brakes as Barker. So we'll give up some positions here. Fortunately, Barker will get stuck behind the damaged car of Robichard.
Well, hey, that's good for my conglomerate.
Oh, and there now Fonseca's off. Collision there as well.
He had a car coming together with Roger Rodriguez, it seems.
Does look like a little late on the brakes as Rodriguez doing some high-fiving there at the end. Speaking of Rodriguez, now trying to take on Madison. Not going to be able to get it done. We'll have the advantage here coming down into turn 1, and that advantage has now fizzled out due to that poor exit, but Gold's looking to take advantage now. Not going to be able to do so either. But will just slot right back in line. So I noticed you are watching a little battle off there. Vince, how's that coming along?
This ain't no little battle, Taylor. This is the battle for P2, still happening since the start of the race.
Schlitz is just taking advantage of that. 3.8 seconds up now. We have been
It's quicker than the next quickest lap.
Bit crazy.
a bit crazy. Battles kind of popping up, sprouting everywhere.
You know, I wanna just take a moment and applaud David Funk, who currently top 5 in a Jag at Misano.
Currently is probably about to go for an overtake here on Craig, but kind of fluffs up that corner a little bit, so we'll just have to slot back in. Jag overtaking Ferrari is going to be a little bit a tall order, to say the least.
Now, where is your mental state when a Jag tries to pass you?
You're down.
You,
You're down
That
for
and-
down for the count. Even just getting out qualified by a Jag is like a 2-tap for you. Now the Jag is all over your.
and then you're preparing for it to accidentally miss its braking point because, you know, it has to start braking about 300 meters before the turn. Oh.
And that Funk doing a magnificent job controlling it. Is about to
Really
open
good.
the door here for Friday though.
Just a bit. And then down in P7, my teammates having a fight off. 3 of them are in Astons. Not what you want to see at this part of the track she's coming up to.
No.
We are about to have Rodriguez dive down here on Madison, taking the inside line. AMR and AMR. Rodriguez going a little bit wide. Madison's going to switch it back here. Is still going side by side. Rodriguez is going to have the preferred inside line here for the next upcoming corner. And Madison will get that way, but that spells trouble for him as Gold's now on the inside of Madison, and we'll be able to take that position away from him. Still side by side, down we go, and we all just slot back in line now. Madison all over the bumper, though, of Gold. trying to go side by side, looking for a gap, not going to be able to find it. We'll just have to stick in and invite the fellow Ghost Rider behind to the battle.
I was just doing some looking. We've already lost 2 people. We've lost DJ Watts, and then we lost a Porsche that was involved in an accident earlier, although I forgot who that was.
Sad to see fallen drivers.
Oh yeah, already from 40 down to 38.
Someone who's not preparing to fall down the order, Martin Riggs here, all over the back of Thompson right now, and all over the back has turned into all over the side, and looks like he's got a little too wide in that turn. We'll end up losing the position to Recton. Tried to go for a move on Thompson, not sure what happened. A little bit of wiggly, might have spelled some chaos. Might just put it out a little bit.
As that was happening, Matt Matassi went a little bit wide and at turn 5, just misjudged his braking point while trying to overtake Rodriguez, I believe. And then a little wide, and then just lost out a position to Walkowitz. I don't know how to say his name. I apologize.
You nailed it.
I did?
Yeah.
You'll see names that I avoid. That would be one of them.
Yeah, for all my D3 people, it used to, you know, they know the meme name from last week was Dubois.
Riggs is not having a fun time around this track right now. Getting all squirrely everywhere.
It's sad to see because I gave him lessons.
I know that is your protege right there.
My boy.
Boy.
My boy. Father help.
Father help.
Fonseca's gonna need to be screaming that soon because Rodriguez is about to close in on this Audi. Yeah, Audi is not looking very good, sliding its way through turn 13 and actually missing the braking zone. Rodriguez is able to make the move. Fonseca is trying to hold off Candola and will be able to do so. Candola is looking back down on the inside on the final turn, is able to take all the curb. That is the preferred line. We'll be able to get that. This now invites Shepard to come in and overtake Fonseca. We'll have to do it around the outside behind the Porsche. We'll be able to get it done. I think that is probably one of the first and only times we will ever say that McLaren out-dragged an Audi.
Oh,
Billy,
and Friday, no, Platt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better be.
How's
Okay.
your battles going, Billy?
Just watching that battle for P7. Zitko has had several opportunities to overtake Davis here, but has weirdly backed out of the move. I don't know if he's waiting for it, but Davis is looking pretty vulnerable right now at this moment of the race.
Not some D. We are starting to get another mini battle. Riggs has been getting ever so close to both Thompson and Recton every single time, but just not able to complete the overtake. And now's the time again. Riggs going all over the back of Thompson, trying to find something. Thompson has gone a little bit wide in this corner. Will now invite Riggs coming down into turn 13 to overtake. We'll end up going side by side before that. Try to out-drag him on the stretch, and that is a McLaren engine. You will be able to do that in the Lexus engine, and that move is complete. Thompson will fall back, won't be able to fend off the move, and Riggs able to finally complete the move.
Already 20 minutes into this race.
We are now. Lorenzo's going to go all over the back of Kevin Unda here. Lorenzo actually going to get thrown out extremely wide. Has to take those sausage curbs, but using all of the power of that Honda to try to catch up to this Porsche. Unda moving to the inside for a defensive line. Lorenzo going to have to take that wide outside line. Try to set something up here for the next straight. Not going to be able to do so. Unda doing a great job at defending off against Lorenzo. Still trying to hold that inside line. He's going to squeeze Lorenzo all the way down to the inside. Kevin Unda taking that defensive line, practically parking in front of Lorenzo. Lorenzo has to respect the space. And this battle has now brought Recton into it. And Recton's going to waste no time trying to get Lorenzo in this draft here coming down to the next turn. We'll try for the outside. Not going to go for the inside move here. We'll decide to slot right back in line and see if Lorenzo can get by Unda. Nothing happening just yet. Lorenzo not getting the best of exits there, but that doesn't matter. That Honda power should make up for the Porsche.
Really quick, Thomas Greer just sent it down the inside of Zach Sky.
Oh, and Lorenzo's gone. Flipping too much of the grass, trying to make a move on Unda. Oh, not being able to do so, and now we have another issue. Unda throwing the defensive line. Lorenzo clipping too much grass, trying to recover, getting more grass out there. Getting tagged by Recton to finish off the spin. Fortunate series of events, but now Riggs is now invited into Recton's battle. Riggs along the outside in turn 1. We'll snick it up the inside of turn 2. Not an ideal line though, so we'll have to fall right back behind Recton here. Gonna try something here in the turn 4. Thompson biting at the bit behind them, just waiting for something to happen. Nothing will happen. Barker's behind Thomas trying to do it that they can. Billy, what do you got going?
Don't you worry about it.
Okay. Oh, you.
Milking that one. Milking that all day. Just taking a peek over at Austin Weisgarver getting past Matassi here. Matassi's kind of all over the road at the moment, missing the braking points. I just wonder if those who didn't over pressure their tires are now starting to kick in.
You should take a look at Zach Sky
Already
and Thomas
on it.
Greer. Okay.
Sky had a great move down on Greer's switchback, put it to him, and there was a little bit of contact, a little bit of door rubbing, but all clean. Greer will retain that position for P23.
By the way, that's the second lap in a row that those two have come together there.
Nah, it wasn't that big.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of, I'm here, I'm not giving this up, leave me alone.
Little door rubbing.
Looks like they're going to do it again here.
Yeah, they're going down. Sky down the outside. Not going to be able to get anything. And actually switch back in here. This is not a very opportunistic spot to go. We'll do it. Actually ends up in the grass, and that's going to compromise his exit here a ton. So practically gives away this battle here for the time being. We'll have to make up some time in the corners.
You just know that in that car right now, Thomas is going, yeah.
Definitely look in the rearview mirror when someone gets a little farther away. You just breathe a sigh of relief. Unlike Wolkowitz, who is about to get absolutely dough-bombed by White Scarver here, down in turn 13. Actually going to end up going wide. We'll just give this position over to White Scarver. Going to try to hold the outside here. Not going to be able to do it. We'll have to then hold off Matissey. We'll be able to do that, and Santos right behind, chomping at the bit now.
Really quick, we had Cody Platt get us a yellow flag on the what looked like turn 15. He just took a little too much of the outside curb on the exit and just spun it around.
Recton looking to go a little wide. We'll get that position to Unda, but that Porsche power is no match for the Aston Martin. Kevin Unda trying to take these defensive lines, is succeeding at it right now, just holding that middle to inside of the track, and is making it a pain for Recton to pass right now. Great defending from them. Oh, and there is collision. Someone got tagged. Unda spun around. Get a replay on this so we can decipher just a little bit more. Acting gonna keep the outside line, trying to hold it. Gets a little too much on the power before Unda can.
Really quick. Battle for P6 right now has Friday, Boonstra, Davis, and Zitko all in it right now.
See that. Oh,
Weird enough, that's what I'm watching.
About to say, I think I see.
See, I'm not paying attention to that. I'm just here to be annoying and interrupt, so that's my entire job for today.
Drifting the Ferrari. Well, you want to scroll down the list. Who's got penalties right now? Surely we have to have some 25 minutes into the race.
Huh. So far, I don't see any drive-thrus anywhere. You do? Oh, wow. Okay, I guess I am wrong. Lorenzo. Our first drive-thru. I don't know when it happened, but it happened at some point, and I missed it. I apologize.
Is also a lap down, so not an ideal position to be in.
Definitely not.
Candola, however, in a very good position here to overtake Rodriguez. That Porsche engine's just not helping him out on the straight, but Vector 3 getting him right up against the bumper. Not able to complete.
Yeah, we're getting close to that pit time mark.
It'll
35
open in
minutes
5 seconds.
And it's going to be interesting to see what the strategies are for these people that are in groups right now.
Just general strategy is to dive out of these groups like Sharon and Walkowitz do here. Because they are side by side here. Still going side by side. What's going a little deep. We'll invite Santos to go right on through. Door bashing. Santos is now off the track because of that. We'll have to regain composure. Get back on the track safely.
I'm watching this group in the battle for P6, and Davis just dove into the pits, so he's getting out of that train and leaving Zitko, Boonstra, and Friday to race for.
Probably a smart move.
Yeah, he's getting held up there from Boonstra. Looks like Boonstra is just starting to fall off a bit.
A bit. But now, I think it may have been she was trying to defend from Davis as well, because now she's all over the back of Friday again.
Who else is...
Oh, and we just got another drive-through from
Oh,
Craig
who's that?
up in P3.
Oof. Is that for pits or track limits? That's for track limits.
Yeah, it's not a stop-go, so...
Not, but what needs to be stopped going is this battle between Boonstra and Friday right now. Boonstra's going to try to switch back on the line. Not going to be able to do so. Tried to hold the outside. Wasn't working for her. So we'll just slide back in. Now's not the time to really be battling. Now's the time to be picking your pit windows because you are technically still in a battle with that driver that just pit out of your group.
So we got another one.
Another penalty?
Now, yep, Lorenzo Filo down in P17 drive-through.
Will be happening a lot this week.
Oh yeah, and we're getting to that point of the race where it's going to be happening more and more because we're halfway in. So, you know, if you've got 2 track cuts by this point, it doesn't take much to get that third one.
A lot of people are pit. Now I also now see a stop go popped up on my.
Look at that. Let's see. That is for Fonseca, 31st.
Such a good battle too.
Yeah.
Lots of drivers diving down. Santos now in the pits. Craig in the pits. Dunham in the pits. Friday in the pits. On in the pit. Enzo's in the pits.
That
of
Friday in the
drivers.
pits move left its way. It's Boonstra and Zitko fighting for P3 right now. They were having to deal with the blue flag just then as well. It's going to be interesting to see if Selena can hold off Mr. Jacob Zitko as well.
You're on board with the Zitko battle. Boonstra trying their best, but that Porsche engine is no match for that Aston Martin here coming down in turn 13. Not sure if Zitko's anywhere near to make a moves. We'll just slide in for the 15. As Boonstra is about to hit a blue flag. He'll actually drop in insane amounts of time here. Sector.
We just got another stop go really quick. Thomas Greer.
It's all happening. It's all piling on.
Felt that 911 is the fact that even if someone gets close to the entry of a corner, you're gone by the exit because we can just accelerate out so much more or so much faster.
Flags getting out of the Boonstra is now cleared. We'll have all the clean track for her in the world to do. We have more drivers.
You know, if you're still watching that one, that battle between Selena and Zitko, I just want to give a shout out to our livery designer, me, because it looks pretty cool.
Okay.
You're welcome for that. I make for some lovely TV.
And all that time that Boonstra made up the Zitko has now just fizzled away here in sectors 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Down on the inside is Zitko looking at it. Boonstra's not going to really defend this too much. We'll be able to hold the speed, hold the line. Zitko's just going to have to slot right back in. Looks like to be holding off some of the power a little bit. Both these drivers still have to pit. Top 10 currently still has to pit. Your overall race leader has just now dived into the pits. Boonstra and Zitko will both go into the pits now.
Robot.
Yep. Boonstra and Zitko have dived in as well, and Funk as well. So the top 4 of this race are in the pits at the moment. Can we talk about how David Funk has put a Jag into P2?
I'll just wait for the pit stop.
Well, it was very.
We see where he comes.
He had a Jag in P2.
Is a weird flex.
Dude is fast as hell.
Potvin closing the gap here to gold as for the technical race leader currently. Not overall, sadly, but top 3 currently have to pit. That would be Gold, Potvin, and Madison. But in 2 coming, Schlitz is now getting held up, which spells disaster for his race. Did have a 5-second gap going into, probably more, going into the pits. This could spell disaster for him as Dunham is closing that gap very rapidly right.
So here's something interesting. Zitko was able to get past Boonstra in the pits, stopped for 4 seconds less than my teammate. I don't know if she had some damage to fix or what, but Jacob was able to get that overtake done in the pits, and now he's fighting against Corey Davis for the battle of P9.
Absolutely.
Well,
Sorry, I'm remedying issues as we're going. Sorry. As it's happening in live recording, trying to remedy it all. But Zitko is all over the back of Davis right now, coming down the front stretch. Both of them have pits, so no one really needs to go in. Roderick's has pit already. And your overall race leader, Schlitz, looking pretty good right now because the gap is now 10.4 seconds to get off. The only person that could absolutely annihilate Schlitz's time is Gold. We'll most likely have to pit this lap.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but Lorenzo did not have a drive-through yet, correct? I think there's another drive-through and it's Lorenzo.
Unsure, but Zitka is going to go for the move down here on Davis. Down on the inside, is able to hold a good portion, but that speed on the outside by Davis is pretty good. Zitka is still going to go side by side here. And it looks like Davis is actually able to fend off that move. Will Zico try to look up on the inside? No, we'll just end up sliding in. Good defending by Davis along the outside. And now Dunham's approaching Davidoff. I believe roles were reversed based on before the pits. Davidoff is getting held up by a blue flag right now. Straight line these two cars go. Nothing will happen down here in the turn 1, but look to turn 3. Or 4.
Here's something interesting.
What's interesting?
Is Selena and Mr. and them Friday were fighting pretty good, pretty hard, and then they just had a back marker come in the middle and kind of split that fight up. So now there's a 1.5 second gap between the two of them again.
Ow, close. Something will happen to make it close. The script writers are going away right now.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, we already know who's gonna win the race tonight. It's like SRA is basically a WW. Oh my God! Wait, as soon as you said something would happen, Friday just went off.
I mean, what can I say?
See what happened there. Oh, yep, just touched a little too much of that curb. Yeah, so Selena was able to get back up then.
There you go, Donahue, just like you wrote it.
Exactly. But what as I was trying to say though is we're basically the WWE of racing leagues. We know exactly who's going to win and come wherever.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah.
What are you trying to say about the WWE?
That it's garbage.
Oh. Well,
This
swiftly
just in,
moving
folks.
on. Battle for P2 is kind of just a train right now. The sun is starting to fall, and so is that track temp. We have hit 10 degrees Celsius track temp. Pretty cold out there, boys. We're also kind of in this very awkward stage. Not a lot of battles really forming. Rodriguez and Varun here are coming down the back stretch. Doesn't look like anything will happen. Approaching Shepard. Happens to be in the McLaren, not the greatest engine-powered car. So we'll see what happens along these straights, but should be able to make up all this time here in the third sector.
Well, would you like to hear some fun facts about seahorses?
Not sure if that pertains to this track, really. What I do want to talk about is Craig's about to pick a move down on the inside of Potvin. Is able to hold it. Potvin's just going to give this move up. Going to try something. Not going to switch it back. We'll just slot back in line. Drive for later, but Craig trying to make up fast work from that penalty they received earlier and popping, missing their breaking point by a good bit, almost going to the back.
So before you do your seahorse randomly stopped on the track. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. But he was in P6 and is now down in P10. He lost 4 positions because all of a sudden his car just came to a complete stop. I don't know if maybe he started to spin and it died or what, but... Alright, now you can have your seahorse facts.
No, it's okay.
No, he can't have that because Matthew and Riggs are about to go side by side here into a corner. Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider action. Porsche versus Lexus right now. Gonna try for the switchback is Matthew. Not gonna be able to do it. That Porsche power is not gonna help him here on this long straight. Riggs definitely has the upper hand here, going side by side into these corners. Gonna come up here to the 13. You turn 13. Who will have the edge? And it actually looks like it's the Porsche of Matthew. Riggs will just let him go. That was good, clean racing for Ghost Riders. Dunham is closer than he's ever been now to Davidoff. Might look for a move here down into turn 13. Not going to do it here. Will decide to hold off here. Might have missed his opportunity there into that one turn. But we'll just have to sit back and watch and see what happens. Any interesting battles taking place over near you, Billy?
Nope.
Okay.
You keep
That was quick.
jumping. You keep jumping.
The only one that I see right now is White Scarver and Davis. And Gould, I guess.
There's a couple battles scattered here everywhere, but nothing, no big moves really coming of it. Might see one here from Dunham. Not really going to do an over-ambitious dive here. Nothing really coming. Don't think the Porsche will fare too well here in the stretch, especially with an exit like that.
You know, there's still 20 minutes to go, but so far we haven't had that many drive-thrus this time around at Misano. I feel like last season when it was wet, there was at least 10 in the Dufour race.
Well, I will say when it is wet, you do.
That's very true. But I just find it interesting that
Cars are coming around. You saw in your picture-in-picture window with Bailey.
White Scarver and Davis come together.
So far, we only got 20 minutes left. Oh no!
I'll go back a sec to take a look.
Look in your picture-in-picture.
Davis absolutely sends it and does not stick it.
No.
Good calls, Bailey. Good calls.
I bet he needs an Arizona tea after that one.
Oh boy.
Wants to get that raspberry Arizona too. What's so funny is wait a second. Yeah.
Oh, it's killing me. What's so funny?
Yeah, it's so funny.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to figure something out. Austin's car, on my actual display, is not an Arizona T livery. It's well, looks like Scuderia Ferrari, but in the replay, it's the Arizona T livery. I don't know what's going on with that.
We don't talk about it. What we do talk about is Justin Rowley here coming up on the back of Davis. But that's going to fizzle out because he ends up going wide there. So we'll just have to reel it back in here.
You know,
Craig
you should look at
is now closing the door on Madison. You see that in your picture.